So from my 2.5 years of experience running a successful OnlyFans agency, I'm going to give you a guide on how you can start OnlyFans management in 5 detailed steps. Hopefully, I can provide you enough value so in 2025, you can start your own agency, printing you a fuck ton of money, allowing you to do whatever you want. Firstly, before we get into the guide, and before we get into the steps, for all of you newcomers who are new to OFM, I want to explain what OFM is. OFM basically stands for OnlyFans Management, and basically it is an agency providing OF creators the marketing services to help scale their accounts, and in return, we take a percentage of all of the profits. Step number 1. Sign in your first client. Okay, I wish there was a magic pill for signing your first client, but it's actually not. It's all about consistency every single day. Yes, every single day you need to be very consistent with signing your first client. But there's actually 2 ways you can do this, right? One of them is just personal outreach, and the second one is network. So I'm going to quickly explain what both of those are. So with outreach, please keep this very, very, very simple. I don't want this to be overcomplicated at all because it's so easy to do so. All you need to do is make sure that your Instagram looks very professional. Okay, so take away all them pictures of you looking like a nitty in some festival somewhere. Take away all them pictures of you just doing random stuff that doesn't look smart and, you know, doesn't look like you're an entrepreneur, okay? You want to make sure that your Instagram looks very professional. You don't need a website. You don't need a logo. All of these guys saying that you need a website and a logo is just a bunch of waffle. Think about it. Why do you need a website and a logo? What is the point? If you have a personal Instagram like I do, which is probably going to be on the screen right now, that's all you need. I have an agency Instagram, and ask me how many times do I use that? Never. I never use that Instagram ever because it's just a waste of time. It's pointless, right? If you look at all of these big, OFM guys, these gurus, they all have personal Instagrams, and they just, if they need to sell something, they just sell it on there, okay? I'm not here to sell you guys anything. I'm here just to give you guys as much value as possible, and one of them is stop wasting your time with websites and logos. Just make sure that your Instagram looks very professional. Verify your Instagram as well, because this is going to be very important for the next step of this personal outreach, which is just genuinely message as many OF creators as you possibly can. Now, there's no right or wrong answer with this, right? There's not going to be a script of how you message them. This is something that you're just going to go through with trials and tribulations. You just need to put the hours in, okay, where you need to be messaging at least 50 people every single day. So do you remember when I said before, consistency will sign you your first client? If you are consistently outreaching to as many clients as you possibly can every single day, one of them is going to reply, right? What's more important is when they do reply, you follow up. You follow up again, and eventually you're going to get one person that is very interested in, signing with you, and you're going to get your first client through that way. The second way of getting your first client or signing a client is actually your personal network. Now, no one ever talks about this in the OFM industry, right? In the OFM space, I never hear anyone talk about, your personal network. And it kind of makes me think, why? Because it's such an important factor to signing your first few clients. Because that's exactly what I've done, right? This isn't about me, by the way. This is just what I would do. But when I first started OFM 2.5 years ago, one of my first clients, one of my first models that I worked with was actually through, one of my networks, right? So what I've done, and this is what I recommend you guys doing, is get a piece of paper. On that piece of paper, write down network at the top, right? You wrote down network, and then write down every single person that you can possibly think of that could potentially sign you a creator that already does OF, okay? It's 2024 at the time of recording this, but some of you guys might be watching this in 2025. You guys will probably know someone that knows someone that does OnlyFans, okay? Or you probably know someone that does OnlyFans, okay? You probably know a creator, you've heard of someone, she's quite local or whatever, right? You go on Instagram, she's following people that follow you, or yeah, do you know what I mean? That there's mutual friends there. Look through all of that and potentially reach out to them every single day. These people on this piece of paper, find, every single morning, write down who you're going to reach out to today that in your own network. Write it down, reach out to them, incentivize them. They're not going to do this for free, trust me. I've tried this before. They are not going to do this for free. Now, you can do your own maths and, you can work it out yourself, to do the numbers yourself, but whatever works for you, do that with them, okay? So I don't know, you might pay them a one-off sign-in bonus, you might give them a percentage of, you know, the model, whatever it may be. Whatever it takes, do that, because once you get your first client, your first model, that model, if you can show results, she will get you more models, and then there you're gonna get, you know, clients on clients on clients. Okay, so you've signed your first client, whether it's through personal outreach or networking, you've signed your first client, okay? So now onboarding. This is actually very important, that the very first thing that you do when you onboard is make sure that you get the model to sign a contract, okay? Now, if you don't know what contract to use or where to get a contract from, I'm actually giving away the contract that we actually use for all of our models. Obviously the percentages, whatever you want to agree with the model, it's typically 50-50. All of the models that I'm currently work with, we take 50-50 because we provide a full service. In OF, you have agencies, that will only provide the chatting, so they take a less percentage, or only the marketing, so they take a less percentage, but we provide a full service, and that is 50%. If you want to use the exact same contract that we use at my agency, drop me a message on Instagram with the word contract, and I will actually send you across the contract that is written up by an accountant, which is fully legit, okay? So yeah, just let me know if you want that contract. I'm more than happy to send it to you. Contract is signed on the first day, and the first few hours, done, okay? What is very important after that is that you set expectations from what the model needs to do and what she can expect from you, okay? Because this gives her a clear image and clear plan in her head that you know what you are doing and what she can expect from you and what you are expecting from her. Trust me, there's nothing worse than signing your first client and, you know, she's thinking there's no work to be done. In your mind, you don't know what the hell to do yourself. So then now you're, you know, a week down the line, you're asking her to do X, Y, Z. She wasn't expecting any of this, so now she's not doing none of it, and it's just all a big mess. Set expectations, let her know exactly what you need her to do and what she can expect from you, and that is, you know, your onboarding basically done. I don't want to overcomplicate this at all. Sign the contract, set expectations. Step 3, chatting, okay? So again, got your first client, contract signed, expectations are there. She's gave you her OnlyFans logins details now. So now on a CRM, we use Inflow, okay? You have her OnlyFans login details. You're gonna put them OnlyFans login details on that Inflow, and you are gonna assign chatters to her account. Now chatters, basically they are your sales team. They are the guys on the account replying to all of the, you know, all of her fans, all of her subscribers, and trying to get money out of them. Now if this is a brand new model who's very new to OnlyFans and she doesn't have a lot of subscribers, this step isn't really that important because these guys aren't really chatting to anyone, but it's overall the idea of it, right? You get chatters on her account, they start replying to messages. The model's gonna be happy, right? It depends what caliber of model that you have. If it's your first model, unless you've got some, you know, unless you have some crazy, you know, master plan of how to get these big time careers, it's more likely that your first few clients aren't going to be that big time, right? They're going to be, you know, lower level, you know, only making, you know, 5K a month or whatever. So these kind of models, they're not really going to be expecting a lot from the chatting because they've not really had anything in the past. So as long as you can get chatters on her account that are replying to messages and, you know, actually making some money in the first few days, that's going to be, you know, you're showing her that you are competent, that you have signed her, you've got a contract agreed, she understands what she's expecting, there's chatters on her account, there's activity, there's something going on. Models are going to be happy with that, right? And then this sets you up nicely to step number 4, which is marketing. Also, just to finish up on the chatting, one of my previous videos, I made a video all about the importance of chatters, right? So if you want to have a look at that, I would highly recommend it because it literally tells you how important your chatters are and how you can actually make more money just from your chatters being a little bit better, okay? So chatters are very important, but what the point I was trying to make is if you can get chatters on that model's account straight away, it's going to be a very good first impression, right? This is what you need to think of. Model assigned, you need to give a good first impression, and one of them, you know, a great way to do that is by showing her that chatters are on the account ASAP, replying to messages, making some money. Your model will be, you know, fairly happy with that first impression, okay? There's nothing worse than a model signing with you and a day later there's 1,500 messages and there's nothing going on. She was going to be like, what is going on here, okay? But let's talk about marketing. Now, marketing is 90% of OnlyFans management, right? This is what one of your main jobs is to make sure that you are marketing your model correctly to get in enough traffic for them chatters to make money from. Now, Marketing is actually very easy to understand once you actually understand what these social media platforms want, right? What these social media platforms want and how to use it, okay? So again, I've made a very in-detailed video about how to go viral on social media. So I would recommend also watching that, but I'm gonna quickly, give you guys an explanation of what I mean by what does a social media platform want. So what do social media platforms want? They want retention, okay? That's all these social media platforms care about is retention, right? So why do social media platforms want retention? Well, how do they make their money? They make their money off other companies paying them ads, right? And the more people that are on this social media platform watching content, the more valuable their ads get, right? So a business is obviously going to pay way more to a social media platform if they're retaining billions and billions and billions of viewers every single month. So if you're creating content that is retaining a lot of people, these social media platforms are going to reward you by pushing your content out to more people because it's actually making that social media platform more money. So now you understand what social media platforms want. Now you need to think to yourself, how do you get people to be watching your videos over and over and over again? Well, think about it this way. When you're watching a video, okay, if you find it boring, you're not going to give it that time of day. You're going to skip. The first 3 seconds of that video, it needs to be attention grabbing and eye catching. You need to grab the consumer's attention in the first 3 seconds. Again, I'll go into all of this in very high detail on one of my previous videos, but basically you need to think about, or what you need to understand about, is the hook, the middle and the end / reward, okay? So you need to understand that if you're watching, right, so when you're going to be sending your client, videos to copy, Instagram reels, TikTok reels to, TikTok videos, sorry, to, copy and replicate. If your model's making these kind of reels, right, and you're looking at them yourself, you need to review them yourself. And if you find them boring yourself, then most likely these other people on this social media platform, they're also going to find it boring. So you need to make sure that it actually, when you're reviewing your model's content before she's posting it, that you find it interesting yourself to a certain degree, because if you don't find it interesting, neither is any of these consumers, and you're just wasting time and you're never going to go viral doing that, okay? So now let's talk about scaling. Okay, so now how do you actually scale this to a point where it's actually a business and you're not just, running a hobby, okay? If you can take your first client or your first few clients, one of them, because you're gonna get loads of clients that you work with and some of them just aren't it, some of them just don't want to work hard, or maybe you just didn't work together right at all, so you have to let go of some. Trust me, that's happened. My first client did not work well at all, okay? We're still friends, but it just didn't really work because I didn't know what I was doing myself, right? There's a lot of figuring out, right? You need to be like finding your own strategy. There's never just a copy and paste method in this. Please don't be fooled by all these other guys trying to sell you a dream, right? Saying buy this, I know how to do this, I know how to do that. Yes, you can learn from people. Yes, you can take little bits and bobs from people and apply it yourself, but there's actually no right way of doing this. What you need to think about is the overall understanding of what you're doing, right? So we got that out of the way, okay? Let's say you've signed a couple of clients. With one of them, it's worked. You've got to at least 10K a month, right? At least 10K a month. If you can do that with one client, you've basically just built yourself a blueprint of how you can make 10K a month with one client, okay? So you've got the blueprint there. All you need to do is build systems in place, hire the right people at the right time to where you can scale this with 10 models at the same time running synergetically, okay? Because if you can do that, simple maths, 10 models making 10K, that's 100K a month that you're getting 50-50 from, okay? You're getting 50% of 100K. Now, obviously, numbers talk for themselves. That is easier said than done, but I've just showed you exactly how simple and how amazing this business model actually really is, right? Because all it takes is for you to just do it well with one model, and then you can just rinse and repeat, 10 models, print you 10K. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You can travel, and obviously with that becomes financial freedom, okay? So if you have any questions about anything I've said, please always feel free to drop me a message on my Instagram. Comment down below actually what you want me to make the next video about. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope I've actually provided you guys some kind of value. And in 2025, I hope you guys are also smashing it like I am in OFM, making some serious money, doing whatever the fuck you want. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.